Hi everyone, thank you for joining and welcome to another Product People event. Before starting, please remember this is going to be streamed on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitch. And also a reminder that this session is recorded. So after the fact, if you want to share that with your community or people you know, feel free to go to YouTube and share this session with them. We will also be running a Slido in this session, so you can ask questions and answer polls. You can see slido.com code on the screen, or you can also scan the QR code. Today's topic is Agentic AI and payments, and it will be delivered by Himanshi. She is an AI product manager. I will give more details about her experience. But this is an amazing topic, especially given everything that's happening in the AI space, product development, the open AI, instant checkout, and all the fun things that are happening. So it's a very timely topic. Before going into the topic itself, a bit about me. I'm Furkan. I'm a product management consultant at Product People. I've been with the company for almost 2 years and have more than 7 years in product management experience. You can see on the screen my sort of a resume across B2B and B2C clientele. I won't bore you with the details, but feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And also a bit about Product People. So we offer interim product management, product operations, and transformation acceleration. We have an in-house staff of product management consultants. We onboard fast. We focus on outcomes. And we also give back to the community by hosting events such as this. And we're really proud that Product People is one of Europe's largest product management communities. We have more than 60,000 members. So before we get into the topic, a quick icebreaker question for all the audience. It's a very fun question. And the question is, will you let AI make payments or purchase decisions on your behalf? The options are simply yes or no. So it will be really interesting to see what the audience says. And to answer, you can go to slido.com, put in the code, or you can scan the QR code as well. We will give you some time to share your responses, and then we will share the results with the audience. I know which part of the population I rely on, but I think the answer will also be dependent on how big the purchase decision is, what the stakes are. But again, really interesting to see what our audience will think about this. Will you let AI make payments or purchase decisions on your behalf? Let's wait a few more seconds. Till now, we see 60% are saying no. So we are a bit more AI risk averse. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's an interesting perspective so far. Feel free to keep on sharing your answers. We might share the final results at the end of the presentation. But for now, let's move ahead. I will give a quick intro about Himanshi. She is a product leader specializing in AI-powered financial products, a decade of experience scaling across global teams and driving measurable business impact. She has built 0 to 1 products across AI, payments, e-commerce, $20 million plus cost savings, 44% revenue growth, amazing numbers. And she's super passionate about pushing AI adoption within organizations and developing the next generation of product talent. She's also previously spoken at Mind the Products ProductTank at London. And yeah, I'm really excited to have you here. So over to you.
Thank you for the warm introduction. Hello, everyone. By the way, are you sharing my screen as well?
We can see your screen.
Okay. Today, I would be talking about agentic AI in payments and commerce. Initially, I thought I could just talk about payments, But as I started to think more about payments and like learn more about the topic myself, I realized at this point it's very hard to separate the two. So I made it Agentic AI in payments and commerce. Obviously, you got a brief introduction about me earlier, but just to give you a sense of what I've been doing for last 10 years, I've been working in different product companies. I started my career in Bangalore, India. Thereafter, I moved to Japan, worked with Rakuten for good 5 years, also moved to London with Rakuten and worked with Adyen in Amsterdam. And I do have I've worked across different industries, but I do have domain expertise in fintech, e-commerce marketplaces, and AI. All the recent projects that I've been working on are around this. Recently, I'm working with a stealth mode startup, which is based out of Dubai. And they're also working on agentic AI and commerce. So this is a topic which is very close to heart. In general, for personal interests, I like wine, learning more about it. I also like running. I try to do a half marathon every year at least. And I also like traveling, which you can guess from my experience of living in 4 different countries. So let's talk about, before we get into the topic itself, there are different numbers floating on the internet about AI agents. This one is from Routers, which is a very credible band by ARK Investments. They say AI agents will enable $9 trillion or 25% of all global e-commerce sales by 2023. Sorry, 2030. And also, PayPal CEO has also forecasted that 25% of the e-commerce spend could be agent driven. So it's a very important number. I want you to think about this before we actually start looking at agentic commerce. Um, for the agenda today, we will be talking about different topics on commerce and payments. What is agentic commerce, which is, to get us started, why this matters for payments, what has been happening since May 2024 in the payments and commerce industry till date, who are the key players and what is their role in this economy, what are the key trends or topics that you could learn more about, what does this mean for agentic e-commerce, and what are the key learning for fintech product managers? What could you do in your organization? How could you take things ahead? The most comprehensive or simple definition that I could find for agentic commerce was autonomous AI agents performing comprehensive shopping tasks for users. They do everything from discovery to negotiating to purchasing, often without human intervention. So we have seen the OpenAI ChatGPT and Stripe integration where you can actually do ChatGPT uh, purchases, but autonomous AI agents could actually take it a step ahead. Let's see what it could look like. I've made this nice image using ChatGPT. On the left, you could see what assistive AI could do. On the right, what autonomous could look like. In the assistive AI or ChatGPT current version, what it looks like is, AI discovers the product. You say, I want to find a decoration or I want to find a gift for someone under 100 USD, let's say. It will compare different options. It'll make a decision. It'll tell you maybe this is the best product or maybe you pick the product. And then it'll complete the transaction. You will do the checkout as the user. Your card could be already saved. For the ChatGPT example, they showed Stripe. On the right, the AI would already know what you need. It will search the web in a more traditional sense. It'll look for offers. It'll negotiate on your behalf. You will get the final product at your home. You don't have to look for anything. It will be coming directly to you. So why does this matter for payments? If, agents could make payments for us or, if they could make the purchases for us. There are certain problems around agentic AI, which with the current infrastructure are very big concerns for the users, for the payments company, for the AI infrastructure, shopping agents, and so on. The first one is around authorization. How does the agent prove it has the permission to spend your money? Or identity. How do the merchant any website that you would make a purchase on, if the AI agent is making the purchase on your behalf, how would the merchant know that this agent actually represents a legitimate user? What are the limits? How do you set the guardrails on what agents can purchase? Can it buy on Amazon? Can it buy only, let's say, my flight tickets, my hotel bookings? What is that the agent is authorized to do? Where is the liability for this agent? If the agent makes a bad purchase, there is fraud. Which part of the ecosystem takes responsibility for this bad purchase? And agent to agent e-commerce, what happens when one agent, let's say your agent for shopping or your personal shopping assistant, goes and buys travel ticket from another travel AI agent? How do they pay one another? Our current system, it's designed for humans. We click buttons, and it's not for AI making autonomous decisions. So all these problems together, they present an opportunity that the next level of the companies that solve these problems, they will own the next generation of commerce infrastructure. And the 9 trillion that we talked in the start, they could take a big chunk of that if they solve these problems. This is a timeline that I want to share with you. I apologize in advance if it's very small. I know it's very small, but it's the best I could do to fit it in this screen. I want you to take I want to take you through these events that happened in 18 months, which has created new payment rails and shopping experiences. These are the most significant events in digital e-commerce that these are personally pegged by myself, so there might be some event that I could have missed. But the first one was in May 2024. Google did a preview for Gemini shopping agent. This is the first demonstration of truly autonomous shopping capabilities. Unlike traditional search or chatbots, this agent could browse the catalogs, compare options, and make purchase decision. What it means is Google proved AI agents could replicate shopping behavior at scale. It established there is feasibility for autonomous commerce. It did not do autonomous commerce, but it set the stage for industry wide adoption, and which is what we see through different events that followed. In 2024 October, Stripe acquired Bridge. Bridge is a stablecoin infrastructure company. They acquired it for $1.1 billion, which is really 5x Bridge's previous evaluation, which also showcased Stripe's urgency but commitment to enter the stablecoin space. What it means is that Stripe recognized that AI agents would need programmable money via stablecoins, via cryptocurrency, blockchain, and not just traditional payment processing. This is a big step away from traditional payment methods, but also establish or introduce stablecoins as a digital currency where we could make day-to-day transactions. And it also enabled everything else that followed, that without programmable money rails, AI agents would be limited by human-initiated transactions. In November 2024, Stripe releases the Agent Toolkit. It's the first SDK specifically designed for AI agents to handle payment autonomously. So this is where the payments part come in. Stripe is giving you an SDK saying this is how you can manage agent payments. The virtual cards could be created and managed programmatically with spending limits. Now, the AI agents had the ability to make financial transaction without human oversight. And it solved the authentication problem. How do you verify an AI agent's identity for payments? And this also signals that Stripe is betting big on the payment empire and agentic commerce. In December 2024, the Gemini 2.0 agent is launched by Google. And it's a big step up from the May release. The RAG infrastructure allowed real-time catalog browsing and cart management. Google indexes 50 billion products worldwide. What that means is that first AI agent could actually complete entire shopping journey without human intervention. So you, from the Stripe, you had the payment side of things, and now with Google Gemini 2.0 agent, you can actually make a shopping purchase. And user could delegate complex purchase decisions to AI while maintaining control over financial approval. So they could still give the final purchase decision, but the agent is doing everything from them. In Jan 2025, OpenAI launched Operator Agent. Now, this is slightly different from your payment or e-commerce, but what it signals that this browser automation agent could navigate any website, not just integrated platform. It could take away access of your screen, and it could browse as a human would. And this was available to ChatGPT Pro users, showing OpenAI's commitment to premium autonomous features. So this is available as a premium feature. And even then, AI agents are not limited to platforms or APIs. They could shop anywhere where humans could. And then we started seeing growth and accelerated momentum towards these topic. Anthropic did Project Wend. It cloud or autonomously operated a physical vending machine business for 1 month. They lost $200, but proved that AI agent could handle real world business operations. After that, Amazon introduced Buy For Me, the beta feature. It's revolutionary because Amazon allowed AI agents to purchase from external websites. So not only AI agents, but also external websites. Amazon accepted that, I cannot have everything in stock. It cannot be in my inventory. So I would become the AI shopping layer. And then the user is still in the Amazon ecosystem, but it could be purchasing from anything, any marketplace, any single shop owner owned website. Thereafter, MasterCard enabled stablecoin payments. So this is another landmark thing where MasterCard, a traditional payment rail company, said, I will do stablecoin acceptance for 150 million plus of merchants that work with my network. And it bridged the gap between crypto native AI agents and traditional commerce. It basically, any merchant could accept any payment form, including stablecoins, and then they could settle whether they want to receive payment in stablecoin or they want to receive it in normal USD, pound, or any other currency. And it also, because they had this bridge between traditional fiat currency and cryptocurrency, they solved the volatility problem that had limited the crypto adoption so far. It had a network effect that created instant global reach for stablecoin powered AI agent. Thereafter, MasterCard also launched Agent Pay tokens. So these are newer type of tokens which are specifically designed for AI agent authentication and spending. We do have card payments which are tokenized by MasterCard, by Visa, and they partner. But this one, it actually allowed the agent information on what they are allowed to actually purchase with this payment method, also included in the token. They partnered with Microsoft for enterprise integration from day one, and it had a security innovation of network level identification of AI agents versus human transactions. And it used the existing compliance network, but established regulatory precedent for autonomous agent financial activity. Visa also very quickly announced in the same breath said stablecoin linked card. So you could developers could programmatically issue back cards backed by stablecoin balances. So basically, you had access to normal cards, and then now you can issue virtual cards which can hold stablecoin balances. What it means for the industry is that it removed the final barrier between crypto native and traditional e-commerce. And I might say it removed the barrier at certain points in this presentation, but as it happens, all of these events that happened in last 18 months, they're really innovative, they're pioneering. The adoption will take time. So each event is culminating towards, setting the stage for agent commerce. What that meant is that any company could create AI agents with real purchasing power through a single API. And it also instantly enabled cross border API agent commerce without any currency conversion. Visa also launched the Intelligent Commerce Agents. It opened the entire Visa network to AI developers with built in tokenization, the AI tokenization that we just talked about. And they also had budget constraints and fraud detection designed specifically for the agents. Visa transformed from a payment processor to an AI agent enablement platform. Anybody could use AI agents, create AI agents, and make payments with Visa infrastructure. And both Visa and Mastercard participated and decided that as a traditional payment company, they will be moving in this direction because this is how the commerce is going to shift. In May 2025, Stripe unveiled Sessions agentic tools. It has the order intent API, which actually captures intent by human and allowed the AI agents to create commerce workflows in seconds, not months. And it had stablecoin financial accounts, which were available in 101 countries. They democratized the AI agent commerce development for any developer globally. So they reduce the time that it will take for AI agent payment integration for merchants from months to minutes. Let's move on to the next part. So what happens in last 6 months? The Coinbase launches the X402 protocol. It's a protocol that has been available forever. We just never use the 402 protocol. You might be familiar with 404 or 200, but HTTP 402 is a payment required status, which finally found its purpose with AI agents. This is the first protocol which is designed specifically for machine to machine payments over the internet. It means that the internet gained a native payment layer for AI agents without changing anything in the HTTP protocol. It's built on the existing standards, so no new infrastructure is required. And it enabled the micropayments economy, which means AI agents can make tiny payments for individual API calls, data access, service usage. If you just want to use it, if your AI agent want to use it one time, they can request the payment, make the payment, and move ahead and get access just for one-time access as well. In June 2025, MasterCard expanded the multi-stable coin support. They supported USDG, PayPal USD, USDC, FIUSD. They all became interchangeable. For context, stablecoins are currency-backed digital cryptocurrency, basically tied in this case to USD, so United States dollar, and all these stablecoins became interchangeable. They created this interoperability between these stablecoins. And what it means for AI agents is that since they all have the same value, which is US dollar one, the AI agents didn't need to worry about which stablecoin to use. The network handled the conversions. It eliminated the friction for consumers and developers choosing stablecoin types. And it also signaled to the world that stablecoin infrastructure is also reaching credit card level reliability. Google also launched AI mode agent checkout. So the shopping graph initially it contained 50 billion product listings updated billions of time daily. So the AI agents could access entire e-commerce index for intelligent purchasing. What it means is that they used their strength of search dominance towards AI agentic commerce. No other company has this level of comparable product catalog data and the freshness because this data is refreshed multiple times a day. And it also made the Google the discoverability layer for all agent shopping. In August 2025, Shopify introduces Universal Cart Kit, basically giving developers the tool for catalog integration, universal cart management, and checkout flow. So it enabled any AI agent to shop across all Shopify stores. Sorry. And this is beneficial for the merchants because millions of Shopify merchant gained AI agent customers without any development, because the whole of economy is moving towards agentic experience, and any store which existed on Shopify network suddenly is AI enabled and AI ready. And it also created common protocols for AI agent to merchant interactions. In September 2025, this is a big one, Google releases the AP2 agent payments protocol. So it's an open protocol which is built with 60 plus partners in payment, commerce, and different big names. It's all the partners which are committed to adoption and any financial institutions. Basically, this protocol, it's an open source protocol. It says it provides secure agent to merchant transactions with native stablecoin support. So what that means is these 60 plus partners, Stripe, Visa, MasterCard, they all came together with Google, Perplexity, different players, and they said we will choose interoperability over any proprietary solution. So this is a big one. It's really key. It's still just launched last month, and it's gonna really change because they already have buy-in for multiple partners to actually build on top. And it also created a network effect where positive feedback would make more adoption possible and will make the protocol itself more valuable. Thereafter, PayPal Ventures backed the stable layer one. So basically, PayPal's venture arm invested in blockchain infrastructure specifically designed for stablecoin transaction. The PayPal USD integration into stable chain for enhanced performance and lower costs. PayPal here is committed to blockchain native infrastructure and not just compatibility. And it also recognized that AI agents transaction volume requires infrastructure which is specifically built to support agentic commerce, and also establishes PayPal as an infrastructure provider, not just a payment processor. And of course, thereafter, OpenAI ChatGPT launched instant checkout with Stripe. So they launched with Etsy and will evolve to include Shopify merchants as well. And it means the conversational AI became transactional AI. You can actually purchase with ChatGPT. So this is an early form of autonomous AI purchases. It's more assistive than completely autonomous, but the economy is moving and it's giving positive signals because suddenly 700 million users of ChatGPT can make transactions. By the way, it's only available in US as well. Over time, it'll be available in different geographies as well. Stripe and OpenAI also released the ACP standard, which is Agentic Commerce Protocol. It became open source and it can also inviting industry-wide adoption. It supports both fiat and stablecoin settlements in a single protocol. It basically created like the TCP/IP protocol of AI agent commerce, a universal protocol layer, and any developer can build with it. Commerce, they can build in commerce capability using the standard tools. Visa also debuted the direct stablecoin funding. So you can actually pre-fund Visa transaction using stablecoins as money in the bank. So it treated stablecoins as equivalent to traditional bank deposits for instant payouts. And also means that it's saying stablecoins have achieved parity with traditional banking infrastructure. In October 2024, which is where we are now, even the month has, we are in week one of the month, and already like Stripe opens the issuance platform for stablecoins. So as you might remember, Stripe had acquired Bridge, which had the open issuance platform, and they have opened it for stablecoins. So basically, any business could launch custom stablecoins with minimal code using the Bridge infrastructure that they acquired last year. Actually, in Feb, it was announced in last year, October. But basically, what it means is you can issue your own stablecoin, and stablecoin creation became as easy as creating a website. It removed the technical and regulatory barriers, so all of that became, came to Stripe, but the merchant can just create it using easy infrastructure. And then you can create specialized stablecoin for specialized use cases, merchants, and industries. Stripe also launched the Tempo blockchain. So it's a layer one blockchain specifically optimized for stablecoin payments with 100,000 third parties solution providers. And after that, Meta unveiled business AI agent. It's slightly different, but has the same flavor of agentic commerce. You have 24/7 sales agent across Facebook, Instagram, and Shopify. And it had integration, pre-built integration with major CRM platforms for seamless human handoffs. So social commerce became autonomous commerce. And eventually Meta's 3 billion plus users gained access to AI shopping agents. And it could also move Meta's business model from advertising to transaction platform. Concluding on this timeline, basically in last 18 months, we witnessed the birth of autonomous commerce, starting with Google Gemini announcement. Now, the AI agents can discover, evaluate, and purchase products independently. Stablecoins became the native currency of agents, solving programmability and global access challenges. So all this that has happened, it's really changed how we will purchase on the internet going forward. And the next phase of AI agents trading with other agents would be also creating agent to agent marketplaces that operate at machine speed and scale. So they won't be held behind by the barriers that are created for human infrastructure. So basically, we have moved from AI that helps humans shop to AI that shops independently. And this is just the beginning of what agentic commerce could be. I want to highlight some players and their roles. This is my understanding for agentic commerce to work. We have three major players. Basically, the first one is the AI platforms like OpenAI providing ChatGPT shopping experience, Google AI shopping assistant, Perplexity search to purchase integration. Then we have the payment infrastructure, because to make a purchase, you need the payment infrastructure. We have Stripe, PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, and they have provided the solutions as we discussed in the timeline that we did before. And the last one is very interesting. So this agentic commerce, it has never happened before. So this is a new economy. And with new economy, you need new rules or ways of behaving or purchasing. So Google, Stripe, and Coinbase are actually moving this conversation forward at the front. They are providing new protocols that are open source, and they are open to industry evolution with adoption. And I want to talk about some trends that actually support the agent commerce economy. The first one that we have not touched upon so far is the agent identity. There is a newer concept called Know Your Agent. You might be familiar with KYC or KYB for yourself or the businesses. There are different kind of protocols around it, but the protocol is not finalized and is still evolving a lot. There are some protocols that I found interesting because it gives you an idea of the things that are put together in the agent identity. So the first one that I found interesting, it's called Digital Agent Passport. It's built together by Trulio and POS. Basically, what happens with this Digital Agent Passport, as you can see in the diagram that I made with ChatGPT on the right, is, let's say, the user is giving a badge to the agent saying this is your special badge and you can tell people to actually purchase with it. So when the agent shows this verifiable credential issues by Trulio, the company or the merchant or the website that it's purchasing with, it can verify that this is an actual agent which has the permission to purchase. So what is included in this digital agent passport? It includes who built this agent, what is the version of this agent, like what software code it's linked with. This ties primarily into security concerns. What this agent is allowed to do, for example, you can make a purchase on Amazon for up to 50 USD, and maybe you can buy me hotel tickets every month for 100 USD. So this is the permission. How it behaves, will it behave securely, it will not cause extra traffic to the internet, and so on. What payment does it use, and is it still valid, and you can revoke access at any time. There is another protocol which is Agent Commerce Kit, which includes the ACK ID and Pay. So they have included both the identification and the payment together. Another key trend is tokenization. So basically, the traditional tokenization are tied to devices and users, but the agent operate across platforms and sessions. So we need a persistent identification for the for the agent without actually exposing any credentials. So these agentic tokens, they actually have this pending rules embedded in the token itself. So when you have this token, it doesn't really point just to a payment method like stablecoin or your credit card. It also tells how much money this agent is allowed to spend. So let's say like under 50 from Amazon. MasterCard has launched the Agentic tokens. These are purpose built. We also touched upon Visa tokens previously. And you have purpose built for AI agent transactions. These are network level tokenizations. They have the spending controls. And the benefits are similar but evolved. So the merchants will never see the actual payment credentials. The agent can transact without storing any sensitive data. So it's less likely to be captured by a third party. User can change access or permissions instantly. So any moment you said, okay, this agent is not allowed to make any purchase, the access is revoked, the token will expire. And they also implemented fraud monitoring for agent purchasing patterns. So the current monitoring existed for human purchasing behavior. For example, you cannot make 10 different transactions in 2 seconds with the same company, but for the agent it's very much possible. So how will the fraud monitoring adapt? The third key trend is stable coins. Because they're blockchain native, they are you can include rules with the stable coins itself. You can set, like, it can make recurring payments. For example, the you can say that pay my rent every first day of the month, or you can pay someone money the moment they deliver some deliverable to you. Key developments around this is Stripe acquired Bridge for 1.1 billion. It created the payment infrastructure designed for AI. Stripe also acquired Privy, which is a stablecoin wallet. So with Stripe plus Bridge, Stripe can now issue stablecoins and embed wallets for any merchants or developers that work with Stripe plus Privy. And they position Stripe as full stack agentic payments provider for both fiat and crypto. PayPal also launched their PayPal USD stablecoin. So it's a native stablecoin. They doubled down more and they created their own stablecoin. It has programmable compliance and limits and works well within the existing PayPal ecosystem. So, coming closer to the end, what does this mean for agentic commerce? I'm looking at short, medium, and long. We're already looking at the short term, which is happening this year or maybe even early next year. And by the way, these are my understanding, but the code that I've heard from anyone who has worked with anything AI most frequently is that something that we were imagining, it happened way quicker than they thought. So this might be that the long term might also happen in short or medium term. But basically, in the short term, I envision the agents augment shopping for specific categories. The luxury or high consideration purchases might still be human driven. Human would want to be in the loop. The recurring purchases or small amount purchases like groceries or supplied could be shifted easily to autonomous agents. And overall, It'll build trust gradually through smaller transaction. Imagine when e-commerce was introduced as a way to buy things online, and it changed our behavior from buying from a shop. On medium term, 20 to 30% of e-commerce transaction involve agent decisions, not autonomous agents, but some decision, maybe a discount, maybe a negotiation, maybe discovery, maybe checkout. There will be newer merchant categories which will be agent only deals or bulk pricing for agent purchase. There will be agent to agent commerce, and it will become quite normal. And the payment infrastructure will consolidate around 2 3 standards. Now everyone has issued their own standard. There will be consolidation over the next few years. In long term, I imagine the majority of commerce, like how you buy your groceries, how you make your big purchases, even cars online, maybe it'll be handled by agents. We might focus on high value emotional purchases, like you want to give a really personalized gift to someone. And new type of commerce will emerge, like streaming payments, microtransactions will become day to day. And the checkout flow that we are so used to, clicking purchase, confirm, adding our details, will become a thing of the past. Lastly, I want to touch upon where should the product team start. Will I believe that almost everyone would be using AI in some shape or form. But if you work in commerce and payments and your companies are doing something about AI, you're curious about AI, I think it's very important that you have a cross functional agentic commerce squad. You can map agentic features. Start small, like chat gpt did not announce autonomous AI purchases. They started with, you can discover a product, you can select a product, you can do checkout with Stripe. So think of agent assists, not agent replaces human. Rethink fraud and monitoring for autonomous patterns, because it's not the same way transactions are done by human. Design explainable, auditable agent actions, because we do want to know, why did my agent buy this, why something is purchased. Invest in identity and abstraction layer. The standards will change over time. Be ready to swap protocols, because the protocols are evolving at a lightning fast speed. Pick the smallest, lowest risk agentic features your product could launch this quarter, and maybe start from there. And that's my presentation. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, you can scan my QR code, and or you can send me an email. This is the first time I'm doing this presentation, so please send me feedback if there are some topics that I could have touched on. Happy to hear about it. Please connect with me on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Himanshi. This was a amazing presentation, a lot of information, a lot of things to think about coming in the future. So thank you so much. We will start with the Q&A session. For our audience, you can go to slido.com. Again, you can put in the code or scan the QR code. We will give you some time to share your questions across the platforms. In the meanwhile, I will quickly talk a little more about Product People and what we do. So there are three different cases where Product People comes in and provides value. We provide interim fractional product management positions. So if you have, let's say, parental leaves, or you have a full-time role being hired, but you still need to fill in the gap, then Product People can come in. We onboard fast, and we really focus on delivering outcomes. So typically, these are 3 to 12-month engagements. We also have expertise in program management and product operations. So again, because of the tons of experience we have with different companies, it helps us to help you upskill your product management teams and streamline processes or programs. And lastly, if you're looking for a shift from a sales or tech-led mindset to a product-led mindset, or you want to configure your product strategy, again, taking inspiration from our experience, this is one use case where we are providing value. Very quickly, some of our B2C clients, such as Eventim, eBay, DeepL, and so many more. And similarly, on the B2B side, working with WHO, Utopia, Pliant, and again, a bunch of different organizations. So, and lastly, we have supported more than 690 cross-functional teams. We have 40 product leaders and product managers, and we are really proud that 59% of them are women, and our leadership comprises of 60% women in leadership. So yeah, with that, I will go to the Q&A. But actually, before the Q&A, I just want to share the ending of the icebreaker question we asked at the start of the presentation. So if you remember, we were at a 60-40 split between no and yes. And by now, we have a 50-50 split. So I think some people have shifted towards being more AI, positive or like towards AI. So that's a good shift during the presentation. With that, let's see. We can go to the first question. Do you feel there's a lack of confidence in AI agents for payments right now? And if so, how we can surpass that?
I think definitely there is lack of trust with AI agents. It's a newer technology. It's something that has not happened before. But as I said in the presentation, when we started e-commerce or Amazon started shipping books, people did not trust that they pay for something in advance and then later it'll be delivered to you. So over time, when we move from assisted AI towards autonomous AI, when we start making smaller purchases, when we see the network effect of it growing, then we will be able to trust it more. But it is a process and it will take time. And like any other product, you will have pioneers who will move very quickly on this. There will be early adopters who will move, and probably best to build trust with those early adopters.
Great answer. Question number two is, how can smaller or less resourced product teams start experimenting with agentic AI without the scale of big players like PayPal or Stripe?
I think it depends on the space you are in, but as I mentioned, all of these companies have launched protocols, their agentic commerce kits, the payment protocols. So I will suggest that start playing around. They're very easy to use. Start, seeing how your product could evolve with those agentic changes, because the world is fast moving from user experience to agent experience. So make sure at the very least that whatever service or product you provide, it's ready for that agent experience. And if you connect with me later, I can send you some resources on how you can be ready at least for agentic experience so that agent can access your product or services.
That's a really interesting perspective. The user experience now also involves agentic experience. So, great answer. In a kind of like similar spirit, the next question is, if AI starts making commerce decisions autonomously, where should human oversight remain essential?
I think the human oversight would be primarily towards setting the permissions for AI. How much do I want my agent to spend? For example, if you have a shopping assistant, like a real assistant at work or someone who books your hotels, flights, then you basically have the guardrails. If I was taking a trip on company money for work, I was going, let's say, from London to Berlin, the assistants might book the hotel or flights for me. The company has already provided the guardrails of this is the budget at this level. This is how much you can spend. This is the class that you can, travel in. So humans will essentially set the guardrails on permissions and how much and where it can spend. But the idea is also that if the agents can take care of these day-to-day needs, or like larger needs, maybe we can focus on something which is more valuable to us. Maybe you develop a hobby, you know never have to worry about grocery shopping again.
That's a really interesting perspective. Okay, next question is, do you consider ways to protect payment commerce AI agents from exploitation or scams?
I think there are different protocols that are trying to work on this, but there is another trend which I did not mention because it's entirely different topic. But the monitoring is also changing because when you do payments, you have the KYC or KYB for the merchants that will accept the payments. You have anti money laundering laws. You have constant monitoring for sanctions, person which are politically exposed, and so on. So I think this will evolve in a newer direction because the guardrails that we think of when we do human transactions look very different from agentic commerce. I would want to pay attention to how the monitoring would evolve.
Definitely. Um, and the next question is, looking ahead, I know you shared this future vision, but what parts of that payment experience do you expect to be the most transformed by agentic AI?
I think the one that I'm most excited is stable coin adoption because since when I started working in the workforce, like people keep talking about Bitcoin becoming really big, and it has become really big. Like I can see investments becoming bigger, but I do think like the bigger crypto adoption will come in terms of stable coin. It'll become as commonplace as the normal currency that we hold in a wallet or use via banking infrastructure. So I'm really curious to see how this new stablecoin backed culture would evolve. I think it's the most interesting change for me for all the things that are happening.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for answering these questions. I'll just wait a second if there are more. Okay, it seems we are through the questions. Again, thank you so much for the presentation and also answering all of these questions with your insights. I will quickly share a few ending notes before we say goodbye. So we are at Product People also hiring. So if you're interested in product management consultancy roles, feel free to scan the QR code. And also, you can subscribe to our newsletter because we write inspiring product stories and we share our insights across all the clients that we work with. So it would be a pretty good read. And just before we log off, sharing for next week, we will have Innovation Within Product Management by Remco. So please feel free to tune in on October 14th for that Product People session. But with that, thank you so much to everyone who joined. Thank you, Himanshi, and have a good evening.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I hope I left you with something to think about.